A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this channeling session, once again, I want to help people out because a lot of people have been asking me how to heal the separation phase, how to get out of separation, or how to get into union, or how to have a consistent relationship, because many people, they get into some kind of reunion, or probably they get into a relationship and they start facing the same problems again because they have not really healed the old problems. The old trauma has not been released. How does this even happen? What happens that a person loses confidence in themselves? Like, if you think about your own life, if you notice, so many times you would have done like great things in life, or many times you have acted with a lot of strength, courage, and you have inspired others. You probably were able to do things which other people told you you would never be able to do it. It is not possible to do this or do that, but you were fearless and you did it. In relationships also, you were a more independent, free-spirited person, more relaxed. Then what happened? What happens that a person loses their confidence, or what happens that a person is unable to move in sovereign freedom? You must have also heard this thing on the internet many times, that people steal your energy. A lot of people go through this phenomenon where they feel a lack of energy, or they get drained, or they are not able to do a lot of things. You must have also heard the phrase dark night of the soul, okay? And in one of my videos I explained that there are two types of dark nights. It's not only one which is very visible. There is a dense dark night which is very strong, wherein you are not feeling good. It's visible, something is wrong with you, you're not feeling great. But there's also a subtle dark night wherein you could be smiling, you could be talking to people, but in your heart you're not feeling complete. You're not very relaxed at that point in time. You're not having full faith in yourself or in your abilities. And if you are in relationship with someone and that person is ignoring you, or has discarded you, has just vanished away from you, you had some fight and they blocked you, they left you, certain types of situations happened with you, and you don't know like what's happening with you, where are you headed, you're living in some kind of confusion. And then this confusion increases from, say, 2 days, 3 days, it's 1 week, and then it's 15 days, 1 month. 1 month later, suddenly this person calls you, talks to you, is nice to you. Again, you're elated. Again, everything is great. You can see the future. You can see your wedding bells, or you can see some culmination of the relationship. But again, there is a fight, so this goes on and on with people. This is called runner-chaser dynamic, where you are neither in completion of a relationship with a person, neither, you are broken up. You don't know whether you are still dating this person, you are not dating this person, And subtle dark night is when, as I was explaining, that you may be looking okay from outside, physical appearance wise, but mentally you're not at peace, or you're not very relaxed. You are constantly worrying, you're thinking about something, you're worrying about future, you're worrying about past, what has happened or what will happen. You're not able to be in the present moment. This is a subtle dark night, okay? Even this can go on for many days, many weeks, till the time you don't get sick of it. So therapy or inner work or healing only happens when a person is sick of these things. For example, people have told me that they were in a hot and cold relationship for a very long time. It went on for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, for some people 5 years. They were not getting any solid commitment also, and they were not able to get out of that relationship. The relationship was like literally hanging in the space somewhere. Yet they continued to be with that person, yet they believed that person, or yet they believed in the relationship overall. They thought that sooner or later the relationship will somehow work out, or they would compare with other people. They would see other people also have challenges in their relationships. All relationships have challenges and obstacles, and you have to go through it. But what they should not, ignore is that those people are together. Even if there are challenges, even if there are obstacles, those couples are together in festivals, in bad situations, in good situations. Even if there are some couples who have fought with each other and they are not talking to each other, but as soon as there is a talk of a responsibility, or there is some other chore that they need to do, or they have taken up some task, they will do their duty. They will do whatever they are supposed to do. Just because they are not talking to each other, it will not be like completely gone. But with certain people, the ego problem is so big, or the betrayal factor is so big, that once you have stopped talking to them, it will be complete dead silence for many, many days. And then suddenly one fine day they will start talking to you again, and then suddenly you will start talking to them, and it will be like, oh, now it is all fine, everything will be okay. And again the same pattern repeats. So this is the type of hot and cold relationship which is not good for anyone's mental health, because these type of people, they have a split personality problem, which means that on certain days they are kind, compassionate, very nice, very caring, very giving, and only for some time, okay? Because people who do this hot and cold behavior, they already have in their head some kind of barter deal going on. They believe in give and take. They feel that if I am doing something nice to someone, for someone, I should get something in return. Now let me tell you, my dear soul family members, that this particular channeling session is extremely important for you, especially because you are here to heal these problems, okay? It is very nice to be positive. It is very nice to be motivated. It is also very nice quality to have, to be in faith. But at the same time, even anyone who is in this situation where they have had mostly hot and cold relationships, they need to understand one thing, that until and unless you don't become a realistic person, a realist, and heal the major issues, you cannot have a smooth functioning relationships with anyone, any specific person. Because first, you need to have a smooth functioning relationship with your own self, so that even if in the outside world someone is playing the hot and cold game with you, you are able to enjoy yourself and you are happy with yourself. When they come back to you, you don't feel drained. When they go away from you, you don't feel sad. Now let me explain to you the meaning of PTSD or CPSD. CPTSD. PTSD typically happens when one time event harms you. For example, somebody loses a pet, or they find out that they are being cheated by a partner, or a partner has lied to you, or some crazy revelation comes to you. Maybe they spread your pictures somewhere else, or maybe they took your money from you. I mean, for different people, it can be different things. It could be in a job also. If someone gets fired, they have this PTSD. So, complex PTSD happens when you are subjected to one traumatic experience over a long period of time. Relationship with a narcissistic person is not easy, and I'll tell you why. Okay, if one traumatic experience which is spread over a long time can give you complex PTSD, then imagine what will happen if you keep going through a hot and cold relationship and all the traumatic events that happen in it time and again. Okay, so this is what happens when we are in a relationship with a narcissistic person, because we are constantly being bombarded with all kinds of traumatic events. Sometimes it is cheating, sometimes it is lying, sometimes they block their number, or they block your number, sometimes they vanish, sometimes they go away, sometimes they say mean things to you, and after doing all of this, they come back to you because they want more from you. They want more and more and more. When you keep going through complex PTSD, repeated traumas, these repeated traumas have a very real effect on our psyche and our physical body as well. So if you are experiencing PTSD or CPTSD, you are not a narcissistic person. Okay? which means that you are the empathetic person. Many a times I have noticed the empathetic person, when they are studying about narcissism or when they are studying about these type of people, they start questioning, have I also been like this? Have I also done this? Do I have this flaw? Do I have this? And they compare themselves to really bad people. Even though they have gone through so much trauma, so much pain because of these people, these evil people, I would say, because in some situations, the selfish people are really evil also because they don't think about anybody else. So, is it okay to be selfish when others are selfish? Yes. Is it okay to keep doing this expectation setting all the time or keep playing this revenge game? No. So, how does it work? It depends on you. What is it that you are becoming selfish for? Is it peace of mind? Is it solitude? Is it happiness? I have also seen one more thing about covert narcissistic people. They always act like they are so hurt when they do these mistakes, and some of the mistakes happen on purpose, and some of the mistakes happen because they really don't give a damn. They really don't care, They will keep doing those things again and again. Even if you politely speak to them, then also you are the foolish person because they will still make the same mistake. If you are rude to them because you are sick and tired of being nice to them, 10 times you tell them the same thing, 11th time they will do the same thing again. So if you are rude to them, if you shout at them, then also they will make you look like the evil person. So what should you really do? You should actually detach from them. Because if you are going to be attached with such people, they will never fix themselves. Once you are detached emotionally, when you don't give them any energy whatsoever, these type of people, they start fixing themselves. The covert narcissistic people have no problem in putting other people into trouble. They actually don't mind it. Like, they can do it, they can make like 100 people fight with each other, quarrel with each other, and they can have a good time. They can have a good laugh about it. So how do you make sure that you're not really getting into their trap? You just have to work on your solar plexus. You just have to surrender to master and source. You have to just look at people and just form a boundary around you. You cannot get emotionally damaged then. Say, even if the returning an ex who had this whole narcissistic pattern, a very deep narcissistic pattern, they took a lot from you, they drained you, they went away for a year. After a year, when you have healed, when you have recovered, they come back to you and they have the same demands. This is the time you should not show to them that you had any problems when they left. This is the time you need to remind yourself that they left once. They left me wounded, they left me sad, they left me in pain, and they gave me so much trauma that I had post-traumatic stress disorder. For many people, there are physical alterations, physical changes also, like they lose a lot of weight, or they'll put on a lot of weight, or they will go into a room and not come out for months. Like, they will stay indoors only. They will stop talking to other people. They will not have any joy in their life. This is the reason why I have always been very grateful to God for giving me animal companions, because animal companions can take you out of your trauma very fast. Sometimes when they leave, it is another traumatic experience, but if you are surrounded by more of them, like if there are more animals you cater to, something magical happens when they are around you. They just know a way to take positions and they know when to extend support for you. Being with animals is a therapy. Being with animals or in nature, because animals talk to us in a very different way, in a very unique way. Maybe people cannot interact with plants or birds in the same way, the way they can interact with animals, furry beings. So there is a very different experience you have with them when you're taking care of them, because when you're taking care of them, you will get out of the bed. Even if you're sad, if your dog is barking or your cat needs food, you will get out. I always request people who do therapeutic work with me, who get into therapy sessions, I always ask them to do something for animals, because animals have the capacity or capability to heal us the fastest way. With human beings, it is good enough too, but it is not as fast as it is going to be with the animals. So I am dedicating this session to all of the people who are working on their pain body, who are working on their wounds, who have been discarded, who have been left alone, especially who have been facing like similar behavior, similar torturous or disrespectful behavior time and again by the same person. Even though they have tried everything with this person, they've tried out like all tactics with this person, but they don't change. In this case, also, if you cannot go away from this person or these type of people, then you need to find a way to reconnect with yourself more deeply. You need to just forget about these people. You need to just cut your cord with these people. I have seen it myself in couple of situations that some of these people, they keep doing something or the other because they are like attention seekers also. The overt narcissist, the covert narcissist, the antagonistic narcissistic person, the communal narcissist, the malignant narcissist, the grandiose. I think grandiose also drain a lot of energy, because even though it is like people say it's negative, very negative, but from the outside they are very charming and they are very well liked by other people, just like the celebrities. But it is very, very draining to be in their company, because you have to constantly keep praising them, you have to look after them, you have to treat them like they are really gods in flesh and bones sitting right in front of you. And they are the types of gods who will not do anything for anyone. They only want to be taken care of. Covert narcissist or the closet narcissist is also known as the vulnerable narcissist. There is a very interesting category of narcissistic person, and that is the seductive narcissist. These people are also quite something to be around. The reason, my dear friends, you need to know about them is because these are the people who are very much capable of using people. They are very selfish. They are the ones who can discard anyone at any given point in time once they are 100% sure in their minds that this person is no longer beneficial. They will drop that person immediately, and they'll always have a replacement, because they are constantly, filling up their supply constantly. So the grandiose narcissist is the very charming. They have a very high sense of self-esteem, and many people like them. You will be shocked to see, but many people like them. They have lots of friends. They have all their relatives, like parading around them. They will make people do a lot of work. They don't shy away from making people do work, and they are good with it. They're pretty confident, because they don't like to do anything. Okay, these people can spread flattering rumors about themselves, and they like to shut down anybody. So it can be you also, or it can be anybody for that matter. If you are a threat to them, if you are a threat to the illusion of greatness they create in the whole world, if you are sometimes better than them also. And this is what happens in spirituality. We have seen that, when a child is growing up under the grandiose narcissistic person, and the child is a genuine spiritualist, the child has really magnificent skills, the child is very beautiful, they have a strong light in them. If they are being taken care by such an adult, the adult would be very, very insecure. Maybe during the childhood, they will, like when the child is 2 to 3 years old, they will be very proud of the child, because such a child would attract attention and everybody would praise the parent or the adult or the caretaker, like, oh wow, this child is so nice. So they will be carrying the child like a toy, or like a trophy, that this is my child. You see, I produced this child, I reproduced this child, I made this child. And the danger is that once the child starts becoming their own person. They start showing individual personality traits, or their personal traits are being reflected, and they are getting more liked by other people, or they have become more likable. The grandiose personality type narcissistic parent or elderly person or an adult will start seeing this child as a threat. So they will do whatever they can, and especially if the child is well spoken, outspoken, very confident, they are not scared to express themselves, there will be different types of punishments they will give to the child, so that the child always remains under their shadow, and the child acts as a slave rather than being a competition. So they will think about things, they will train the child accordingly. But once this child grows up, the problem would be that the child would either attract a lot of these people who have similar personality traits, and they will also try to use the child as an adult now. The child who is now a grown-up adult, who's very much skilled, very qualified, or maybe even physically attractive, or they have some great things going on, the grandiose personality types would be very drawn to this person. But they will be also threatened by this person, especially in the world of twin flames or in the world of ascension. I have seen some of the ascensioners are extremely wise, extremely beautiful, they're beautiful people. So they become a kind of threat, and they would want to malign that person. They would gossip. I mean, the grandiose personality types would gossip, would malign this person. They would spread false rumors about this person. They would try to sabotage this person to a certain degree, to a certain level. So this is something that you need to be careful from. So even if you have, say, attracted a celebrity, or you have attracted some great people like who are materialistically very popular or successful, you have to be careful. You have to question, why are these people with me? What do they want from me? And definitely I'm telling you, they would want something from you. Something from you they need, and it could be your confidence also. Maybe when they destroy your life, they will feel very happy because they have destroyed such a big threat. And on your face, they'll always be nice to you. They'll always be a person who cares for you, so that you give them all the news about yourself. And I'm just giving you the celebrity example. You have to think about people who act like celebrities in the 3D world also. Or sometimes the grandiose personality type cannot be a celebrity. In some ways, they are very lazy. So they will have popularity in their own area, in their own family, or in their own school or college. They will be popular wherever they are, and they will have kind of lot of people serving them, lot of people looking up to them, even though all of them are feeling drained, even though a lot of them understand their tactics, but they are still so charming that people cannot really avoid not liking them. So it is very strange, though. It is very interesting and strange at the same time. There are two types of grandiose narcissistic people. One is adaptive and one is maladaptive. Adaptive narcissistic people, they cause people to build up their self-confidence in order to protect themselves. So they are natural leaders, and they are often drawn to careers that offer positions in leadership. They crave authority, they crave prestige. But maladaptive narcissism is the one where someone will have a naturally high self-esteem, and they believe, or they think, that they are born or they're entitled to take advantage of other people. These covert narcissistic people are the most tricky ones, according to me. I mean, grandiose are quite visible, and once you do your inner work, you would be able to figure it out much faster. Actually, with inner work, they will all stay away from you, or if they have some access with you, or they have some work with you, they will also keep it limited, because you become a more tricky person for these narcissistic people. The narcissistic wounds are not in your life only from the recent times, but since childhood you must have carried these wounds. Otherwise, there is no way that you would attract people who show you the same qualities. I mean, qualities is not the right word, but same traits or same behavior patterns. Now, these covert narcissistic people, They also demand a lot of attention. They also want to be the center of attention. They want to get the spotlight on them, but their behavior is quite introverted and withdrawn. They always come across as someone who's very silent. They don't talk so much. They will always be quiet, or they'll be, somewhere looking at everyone. But they will keep acting in the most annoying ways. They can always cry. They can always be like the most deplorable person. They will put people in trouble. They can make others fight because they are the silent attackers. They will say one or two lines, or they have very negative energy also. Bipolar people are sometimes very much drawn to them, or they are drawn to them. So the reason why they are called closet narcissistic people, or covert, so covert and closet is almost the same, is because generally they are seen with someone who has very low self-worth. Okay, they act like they are, very meek and very this and that, but they actually crave praise and admiration so that they can feel better about themselves. And how they do it is by hanging around with people who are very smart and who are, really have like some very positive energy, and they are like the center of attraction. So they'll be hanging around with those people because they feel that if I'm hanging around with such a cool person, such a nice person, such a smart person, then being around this person, I'm also going to get some attention, or other people will look up to me because, such a nice person is hanging out with you. You understand how they work? But they will demand a lot of energy and a lot of attention from the person they hang around with, the person they hover around with. They are like parasites. That's how I see them. They are literally very much like that, and they don't leave someone easily because they have no resources of their own. They may be having, or they may be, like reflecting, or they may be showing a certain quality, something about them they would be reflecting so that they are worthy or they are useful to someone who has to carry them around. But otherwise, they are just always upset, sad. They will hardly smile. They will hardly laugh. They will hardly make, any situation light up. They are always depressed, or rather they look always depressed. But for example, they connect with a person who's very healed, and this healed person can trace it, they can track it, or they know how to deal with the covert narcissist. They will be very alert. So if you keep checking on to them, they will keep making mistakes. They will keep doing very annoying things that will, literally torture you. Emotionally, you'll be like, or mentally, you'll get tired of them. So they purposely do that so that everyone leaves them alone. Nobody questions them. Nobody bothers them. They can do whatever they want. They can live their life. Things like that. So you have to keep a check on these people, but you have to also do it in a subtle way. You don't have to show to them that you depend on them. You rather have to show, because they are very smart. They pick up statements, they pick up words, and they throw it on others. They will say one line, and that is more than enough to irritate you, or to annoy you, or to make you feel like a dismal person, a very small person in front of them. That's how they work. So I'm telling you all of these pointers so that you can be careful of these people when not to give them energy. Vulnerable narcissistic personality disorder types often have fantasies of becoming successful. So they have secret fantasies, okay? In their heads, they think, they're constantly plotting, constantly thinking that I will do this and I will do that and I will be this big person, very rich person. I will have multi-million dollars, or yay, whoa, this, that, They also believe that they deserve positive feedback from others, but they don't take any steps to earn that praise. On the contrary, they will create some kind of trouble, or they will portray a lot of attention-seeking behavior in a very sadistic way, in a very sad way, So the lack of recognition can lead to emotional outburst, which may cause them to feel intense level of shame. Now, I'm not telling you all of this so that you sympathize with them. You just have to observe them. You have to give them chores. You have to keep them busy. The best way to keep a covert narcissistic person not trouble you is to give them work. Because if they are busy, if they keep doing something, they will make a lot of mistakes, and they are also big time liars. They will not tell you unless you're smart enough to catch hold of them. They will not tell you, and they will always blame it on other people. They are great in making excuses. They are great, and that's why I'm saying why you should be careful with these people. Because if they see that you depend on them, or if they see your energy is low, or if they see that you are getting really troubled by them, then they will throw demands on you. They will throw very big demands on you. Maybe in a way God is trying to show you their real face, because in reality they are very evil. They are not a type of person who has a feel good factor around them. They don't have a feel good factor around them. That's why I'm saying they will usually be seen in laborious jobs, usually be seen like that, or they will always reflect or portray an image of a very hard-working person who is extremely useful to others. Okay, but actually they are not. So their emotional outburst or their attention-seeking behavior and their intense level of shame, this is a common trait of the vulnerable narcissistic behavior that they play, because they always act as a victim. A very interesting dance that I have noticed is that the covert narcissistic people also like to hang around a lot with the braggers. You know who's the bragger? Bragger is the person who brags a lot about themselves. So their huge sense of, like I am this, I am that, they share it with the covert narcissist. The covert narcissist understands that this is a bragger, or they also make people brag because their body language is such. They are so arrogant and so quiet at the same time, so silent at the same time, that it creates this feeling in a person to talk to them, like they feel like talking to them. And if it is a bragger, the bragger will brag about 100 things, and the covert narcissist will listen, smile. And then they will also gain their trust. They will also be like, the bragger will feel like, oh yeah, this person likes me, or this person is a nicer person, I can trust them. They'll probably give them some job, they'll give them some money, or they'll give them something. And that's when the covert narcissist will show to the bragger that, look, you need me. You need me to a great extent. This is a game they play. They all play, okay? Research has shown that vulnerable narcissistic people, what it means, someone is more likely to experience negative emotions, and they also may perceive compliments as insults. It's also linked to high levels of neuroticism, which means that sometimes you might say something nice to them, like you might just say, hey, I really like what you're wearing today, or nice this or nice that, and they would be like, is this person making fun of me? Are they trying to put me down? So I'm telling you, it is very heavy to be around them. They struggle with depression and paranoia. They're often, another trait I'm telling you, and this is a sure shot trait about them, they're very, very, very envious of the people around them. And I told you, they also choose people, they also pick people. A lot of covert narcissistic people who are in the laborious jobs, they will hang around with very wealthy, very affluent people, very high class people. Why? Because they like to blame others for their own lack of success. And they like to make people fight. A very interesting character in Ramayana is of Manthara. Manthara, I feel, fits this bill. If you guys are from India and if you have heard the story of Ramayana, you would notice that Manthara is always hanging around with Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi was the most beautiful queen of Dashrath. Being so beautiful, she also was not having too many friends. But in Dashrath's palace, she was happy because the other two queens were very understanding, the elder queens. And it is said that Dashrath also was very fond of Kaikeyi because of her beauty. And she was also a skilled warrior. It is said she had saved his life once. But Manthara, who was also a hunchback, and she was this weird looking lady, wearing strange dark color clothes. She was the only one, probably in the story of Ramayana, when you read about Ayodhya, she's the one who stands out as a dark character. Always hovering around, always looking, always checking, very envious, never happy, always making fun of Kaikai in a very subtle way. Because Kaikai used to love Ram a lot. Ram is actually her stepson. If you read the story of Ramayana, Manthara is actually the main character who was the reason why Sri Ram went on exile. So she was that capable. Manthara was that capable. She had the quality of polluting the mind of Kaikai. Kaikai went against everybody. She didn't even realize that this will cause a lot of trouble to her husband, who eventually died because of this. Ram was sent to exile. Lakshman, another stepson of Kaikai, was sent to exile. Ram's wife Sita went to exile to accompany the husband. And when her own biological son Bharat came back, he also cut all ties with his mother. He was so upset with his mother. He was shocked that she has done something like this. But later on, the youngest brother Shatrughna, he was the one who pointed it out, that it is because of Manthara. Dear brother, it is because of Manthara. She is the one who has done this. This Manthara is the reason why our whole family has got separated and destroyed. So that is how covert narcissistic people work. Sometimes they prepare years upon years upon years upon years. Sometimes they are like that. And they also win the trust of their favorite person. Like Manthara always got favors from Kaikai. Like Kaikai always took care of her. Kaikai actually got her to her husband's house from her maika, as we say in Hindi language, from her mother's home. From her maternal home, she got Manthara with her. And Manthara used to stay around her, take care of her, serve her, whatever her job was. But she was always, for years upon years, she waited for the right opportunity. And when she saw the right opportunity, when she saw that people are vulnerable right now, and this is the best time to do what I've always wanted to do, I will influence Kaikai and everything will happen in the way I want. And actually, she was not going to achieve anything from this, trust me. She was not going to achieve anything. Like personally, she was not getting any wealthier. She was not getting the position of the queen. The only thing she must have thought, if Kaikai becomes the king's mother, then yes, Manthara can be like the head of the servants, or Manthara will have great power, supremacy. That could have been possibility. But it was not like Manthara would have or could have benefited in a way that, all the wealth would have been thrown at her feet. No. But she derived extreme pleasure, extreme joy, because she felt that she's the one who controls everybody's life. The reason why I ask every single person on the ascension journey to read Ramayana, daily listen to Ramayana or read 10 pages of it, you will be amazed at how good you will become at understanding different characters, because Ramayana and Mahabharata are the best epic, and Ramayana is one such epic. Like there is no other epic on this planet that can quantify the same quality as Ramayana. It is so good. Just by listening to it regularly, people have gotten transformed. That is the immense power of Ramayana, and the story design is just too good. Like it's immaculate design. That's why I love it so much. So different characters have different roles. Different characters display certain traits which are very visible in today's world. Back in those days, in Treta, there were not so many narcissistic people. So looking at Ravan, looking at Shurpanakha, looking at Manthara, looking at Tadka, looking at all these characters, Bali, you learn so much about narcissism, because everyone displayed different types of narcissistic characters. I hope you guys are enjoying this session. If you are enjoying this session, please drop a heart or let me know your own experiences, struggles with narcissistic people. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop right here because I have explained these particular narcissistic people in great deal. I will take a pause here and I will come back. All of this content that I'm making, it's all inner work related content. Guys, if I want views and if I want a lot of people to flock to this channel, then we can promote the channel. It's very easily. Many YouTubers do that. Or I can make content, constantly share love letters or share, those typical videos that other people are sharing. But I also share love letters when it is divine timing or it is happenstance. It is spontaneous. Because love letters are meant for those people who have reached a certain point in the ascension journey. It is all based on Shrutmai Panya. We all deserve to be loved. We all deserve to be understood. We all deserve to be appreciated. So these love letters come from that space. All of the love letters that the masculine writes to the feminine or the feminine reciprocates to the masculine. Everything is actually happening simultaneously. There are people who are exploring harmony. There are people who are exploring union. There are people who are entering singularity. There are people who are in runner-chaser dynamic. There are people who are in duality. All of these stages are very, very important because sometimes they are also non-linear by nature. And they also work percentage-wise. These are the things that people only realize when they have surrendered fully. When they have surrendered to a great deal, then they realize that, oh my God, things are not even linear in this journey. There are so many loops that need to be closed. So inner work is the key to success. Inner work is everything. So I make this inner work content side by side simultaneously. Again, because I enjoy it. It is so amazing to talk about these subjects that can help other people. Even if few people watch comparatively, I know that they are getting drawn to this content. I know they are getting attracted to this content and they're enjoying this content. But maybe in future, maybe in times to come, more and more people will get drawn to it because more and more people would be craving to heal. You can listen to romantic songs or you can listen to a lot of positive stuff. But if you are not a realistic person, if you have not healed yourself, then no matter how positive you are, no matter what greatness you are achieving, it will create some kind of trauma for you, trouble for you, because that is a pattern you have been raised with. One important disclaimer is that if you are looking for therapy, if you are looking for a personal session or a 360-degree therapy, a holistic therapy, then please go to the description box. It's below all the latest videos. Please check it out. Go through the fee structure, go through what exactly the subject is, the topic is, what do you resonate with, check all of that. And only when you're 100% sure, because there are more than 1000 videos on this channel. If you need to know more about me, if you need to find out more about me, then you can go through all of those videos. You guys are great judge of characters and you guys probably have gone through some other people also. So you go through the content. You can buy my book, you can read my book first, or whatever way you want to do it. Once you're 100% sure of doing inner work. The reason why I say this is because once you come to me, then you should not be looking back again at the old version or the wounded version of yourself. People who have been in therapy with me, no matter how many sessions they did, there is a great change in their lifestyle because they experienced a big shift in themselves, in their personality, in their confidence. It's not easy to release these trauma bonds. It's not easy to heal from PTSD or CPTSD because it's a part of so many people's DNA now. It is a part of the junk DNA. It needs to be healed with constant practice and with the discipline. If someone is on top of you and they're telling you that this is the discipline you need to follow, you'll probably follow it, you'll listen to that person. So initially you need the hand holding, but later on once you understand how to heal yourself, how to work on yourself, then you may not need it so much or you would probably need it once in a while. It's only for a certain time that you need to know that yes, this is the right way to heal my wounds. Okay. So one love, peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.